Hi everyone, my name is Kristin Ciliberto, and I'm your host for today's exclusive interview with Jacy Mairs. She is the writer and director behind the film Trash Baby, which was just shown at the Indie Street Film Festival in New Jersey. And this film had a wonderful premiere at South by Southwest and was also shown at Dances with Films in LA. But before we jump into our interview with Jacy, let me give you all a brief rundown of the film. Stevie is stuck at home for yet another sweltering summer in Pine Park. She soon crosses paths with wild, not so child Edie. She finds herself grappling with the natural desire to grow up and the reality of what we lose when we do. Now that you know a little bit about the film, let's go over to the interview.
Let's talk. I love it.
Okay, so I have to admit, this has been one of my favorite films I've seen at a film festival so far this year. I really enjoyed it so much because it got me thinking of other films that I really enjoyed, like over the years, because this is a coming of age story, it's a summer movie. Why did you want to tell this story?
I wanted to tell this story for many reasons. I think that nostalgia and the era of being 13, where it's just a really passionate age and you're experiencing so many of life's firsts for the first time, is unlike any other. I think that's why many of us love coming of age films. And so, yeah, as an indie filmmaker, if you're really shooting your shot and you say, what story feels important here? Something against that landscape was definitely where I wanted to start. And then specifically with Trash Baby coming into this world of kind of trailer park culture, um and that for me was really important because as a kid it was just something that I never got to see.
Yeah, of course. And I love the fact you bring up nostalgia because when I got to go to the showing of the film, I brought up in the Q&A how this film did a great job of bringing nostalgia back to life. He really did a great job with the set production and bringing everybody on board, taking us back to the time of the early 2000s. And one thing that really stuck up out in my mind was in Esther's room, the actress who plays Esther, the posters of Jessica Simpson and Britney Spears, because when audiences watched the film, these were young actresses and musicians, Britney Spears and Jessica Simpson, who had to grow up fast
Mm-hmm.
in that time. So it just got me thinking of like how the character was wanting to grow up fast and experience all these different things. Like there was little things I was able to pick up that I was really fascinated by and really connected with the story and everything, how that was being constructed together. Um, Going into this, do you have a favorite coming of age story or movie that explores summer?
um I think Florida Project is a huge one. I think that that movie was just done really well, especially working with talent at that age. 5 6 is really really young, and obviously we had um Wally, who played Kimono in our film. And I think the best way that you can engage with children on that scope and age range is like kind of just letting them be themselves on camera. And when you are able to capture that, it's a really, really special thing. Um, so yeah, I think that film was a huge one for me. There's tons, but I think this one, obviously, like you said, with the idols and the people that were in the walls on her posters and stuff, like we had an amazing production designer and art director who really contributed to that. But I think it was super important to us to like comment on this specific time period because
Mm-hmm.
looking back at it, it is so wild. The people that we idolized, who, not to say all, but many were, stick figure blonde women with eating disorders and being judged and scrutinized when they're still minors, in a really sexual light. And all of that was normal. And so it's interesting to grow up during that time period. And like, how does a young woman like, Stevie, that character, how do you evolve into like a whole person when that is what you're seeing every single day?
Right, right, right. And I love the fact you brought up the Florida Project. That's an excellent Sean Baker film. I love Sean Baker. He's also a filmmaker from New Jersey, so it's nice to see you
Hey.
bring him up. So, one other thing I saw while going through Letterboxd, I of course have to see what everybody's talking about. Some people mentioned the Florida Project, Gummo. What do you think about the audience's reaction to this and seeing it connect with so many people?
It's amazing. I am a little too scared to ever look at Letterbox, but it's really nice. My friends send me screenshots, so I appreciate it. And yeah, I think to date, the most like honorable comment I've ever received was "It's Gummo for girls," which was pulling
Yeah.
my heartstrings just because Gummo was such an influential film for me growing up. So much so that actually I don't think many people realize, but Nick Sutton, who plays Tumblr in Gummo, he's in Trash Baby. So
Oh, I
I
didn't
actually sent him
realize
the
it.
script and I begged him and pleaded if he would partake in the project in any way. And so he works at the convenience store. That's the clerk within Trash Baby. So it was a really full circle moment for me. And I just think the reception of the film has been nothing short of wonderful. So those comparisons, yeah, it means a lot.
I love the fact he was in it. I had no idea. He looks so
Yeah,
different now because I saw him as a you see him as a kid, and now he's like a
sure.
full grown adult. You don't even think about it. What was it like bringing in the cast together? Because the cast is phenomenal, including Esther. I mean, she was just so talented. Oh my goodness, you
Yeah.
got so lucky here.
Oh, definitely. We hit the jackpot with Esther. The cast, I think what made the film so special is so many people already related to the story that we were trying to tell, and we're pulling from their own experiences and things that paralleled with the story of Stevie. And so it was really a domino effect of finding, we found Eddie first, who was Brad, the love interest, and then that
Mhm.
dominoed into meeting his brother, who actually played Neon, and really having some organic rivalry there that we could pull on just because they're so close that they can test each other and it feels comfortable. And so yeah, a lot of it just happened really, really naturally. And then Esther, we did through a casting call, and just the film wouldn't work without her because she is the beacon that navigates the whole thing, and um is just really impressive to do so because she was only 13 when we shot that.
Yeah,
And to reflect on that time period while you're actively living in that time period of your life is like kudos to her because I could never do it.
yeah, of course. And this took filming took place 2 years ago. How long did the whole project come together? Like, when did you start pre-production? So, like,
Yeah,
beginning, middle, end. How long did it take you?
it went it went fast and then it went slow because I wrote the script. I think that was in 2022, but I was working a lot at that time, and so I was on other productions and doing this really at night and weekends. And then it was all systems go. It takes a lot, obviously, to put aside the time in your life to focus and be a producer on a project and see it through. So I was ready and I was locked in and I was like, okay, 2023 is the year we're going to make this. And then I actually found out that I was pregnant with my son.
Oh,
And that really made it a do or die timeline of, okay, we wanted to be shooting this in July. I will be 8.5 months pregnant.
oh
How
my
is this going to work?
goodness.
And it was just we cannot push the schedule. We must finish this film and we must finish this film now. And so I was very, very pregnant when we shot Trash Baby in our sweaty little trailer park.
Oh,
And then we kicked off to the other side where I felt like I think we all just exhaled that we got through production and I didn't have a baby on set. So that was wonderful. And then after that, we did kind of take a breath as we, moved towards post, and just worked really closely with our editor, who's amazing. But yeah, took our time with it because it's like getting it in the can is really the part where it's a pressure tank. And then having the time to reflect on that footage and go through it and find all the little organic moments and gems was where we kind of exhaled and took a breath. And I think it really shows in the end result.
one other thing I noticed too. This is your first feature film. You directed short films. What did you learn on this whole process? Like, what did you learn from making short films and apply it to here,
Mm.
Trash Baby?
Oh, that's hard. I think I learned something with every short film that I did. You look at it and you go, there's a stage in every process of any project, I think, where you go, I hate this. This is terrible, throw it away. And I think learning that that's part of the evolution of it. And then there will be a moment where you're in love and you think it's perfect. And then it dives again. Like that ebb and flow is just naturally part of the curve. And it really is about resilience and following through with that script being the North Star that you just continuously come back to. And, I know everyone says like kill your darlings, but I think that is the biggest learning that I had from short films was just going back to the script and being like, did we accomplish the message that we were trying to say here? And if it doesn't, you get rid of it. And if it moves it forward, then that's what makes the cut.
Definitely. And then I have one final question. So, Film Fest Report, we specialize in film festivals. So, I have to ask, What is it like, Trash Baby, being shown at all these wonderful film festivals? Of course, you had your premiere at South by Southwest. So you got to show it at Dances with Films in LA. The New York Festival side for Dances with Films is excellent. So hopefully they get to show it there as well. What is it like seeing your film being shown to a wide audience and at these great film festivals?
It's absolutely surreal. I think our crew is really, really close. And so we've been really fortunate that many of us have gotten to travel to these festivals and experience them together. And I think there's never not a moment that we look to each other all like this is somewhat of a joke because it feels crazy that we're here. Trash Baby is a trashy little movie made with very little money and just kind of a ragtag team of artists and creatives who really cared about the story. And so the juxtaposition of being a part of these, you know, really iconic festivals is surreal for us. And yeah, I feel very, very grateful.
Well, I'm happy Industry Film Fest got to show your film. Thank you so much for sharing the film with the audiences and with me. Trash Baby is certainly a film that has a lot of passion and a heart. So thank you so much for your time. That's going to conclude our interview. Please be sure to follow Trash Baby on social media. Please follow us at filmfestreport.com and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you all next time.